Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of A Chapter a Day Keeps the Doctor Away. My name is Alan, otherwise known as Hisui, and I'm from ReverseThieves.com as well as the Speakeasy Podcast. And this time I'm looking at UQ holder 26, Karin in Crisis. And we see Kaito was defeated, Toda spares him, just kind of basically, hey, almost what happened in the last chapter, just pretty much a confirmation. And Nagumo basically picks up Kaido and is like, alright, let's get out of here. We just had to keep him busy and mess up the town. We did what we had to do. Enough damage has been done. Alright, let's go home. And, he mentions how Kaido was holding back on the secret of the flash step and how Toda was clever to figure it out. And he's generally impressed. And he's like, I've given enough exposition, as it were. It's time for me to go back. Whenever large amounts of information and backstory need to be conveyed, I'll come again. But the narrator, or somebody, whoever hired them, the head of the normal people, I'm not exactly sure, the mysterious people behind all of this, have this spy drone, and they call up Nagumo, and they're like, yeah, we're gonna ask you to do a little more and take out these immortals. And it'll be some extra cha-ching for ya. So, Nagumo's like, alright. Well, if it's crazy bonus time, I guess I'll actually fight and not just narrate and give you encyclopedia entries. Whatevers. Alright, you two are going down. And, he whips out his sword, and my first thought is, I'm sure it's going to be pretty impressive. And this is supposed to be pretty badass. But I'm really still thinking of him as the exposition guy. It's really hard to just get over that, image of him in my head. I'm like, hey, yeah, this sounds like he could be cool. He's got a sword and, he's all, look at me, I'm pretty decent. Yeah, look, the gun show was right here. So, him and Karin trade a few blows. We once again get to see Karin being awesome. The picture I have is her, basically attacking with her sword and then winding up the hammer. It kind of looks goofy, but it kind of looks cool at the same time. And she just totally wrecks his sword with her hammer. And Toda's like, well, I'm just going to sit back here. Yay, Karin's the best. Well, Nagumo, you really just should have went home. And, he seems to be kind of a flash sword, first strike kind of guy. And at first, it looks like Karen's got the upper hand, but he tisks her, and it turns out he has some kind of teleporting blade. And then it becomes a police song, because Karin is walking on the moon. And obviously her immortality lets her not worry too much about being on the surface of the naked moon. But her real thing is, how do I get back? And, it is the Nagima future, so it isn't like she's stuck on present day the moon, where she's basically alright, if I just push off the surface and I can, break orbit, in a few months, I can be back on Earth. So, I'm sure there's like several I mean, they have Mars colonies, so they've got to have moon colonies as well. So she can definitely get back. They might even have teleporters. But even with the teleporter, she has to get to the teleporter, pay someone to teleport her, probably to another teleporter, and then go from the teleporter to where it is. So she's pretty much, unless she gets like some spell or something, she's pretty much out of the fight. So it's Toda, who's kind of still reeling from the fight with Kaido and this guy, Nagumo. So now, theoretically, could be the time for Kuromaro to actually step up to the plate and be awesome. Once again, this guy kind of punked Karin, so like if the character and Toda team up together, that seems like a generally fair fight and generally a way for Kuromaro to make up for previous chapters kind of looking like a doofus. So hopefully that will happen. But we shall see. But until then, see you guys next time.